Travis. Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We start with a rather sad story. The death of 9-year-old Emmanuel Putian is being linked to the TikTok blackout challenge. Police said that Putian was found dead about 5:08 p.m. on Monday in the bathroom of a guest bedroom of his home along Penguin Crescent, Maloney Gardens. Young Emmanuel was last seen alive about 2 p.m. in the house. At the time, he was in the company of his grandmother and his 13-year-old cousin. It was said that the two relatives realized young Emmanuel had gotten quiet and went searching for him. However, the checks were unsuccessful at the time. It was not until 3 hours later that his body was discovered. He was found with a belt around his neck. His phone was nearby. Failed attempts were made to resuscitate him. The blackout challenge is a social media trend which encourages people to try and pass out for as long as possible by restricting their airflow. Just last Wednesday, a 10-year-old girl in Italy died under similar circumstances. She was found by her 5-year-old sister at home in the bathroom with her cell phone. According to TikTok's terms and conditions, users must be at least 13 years or older. The Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago called on parents to be mindful of the trends on social media, which have the potential to be harmful to children. Now in Barbados. Barbados will go back into lockdown for a 2-week period that will include an 11-hour nightly curfew in an attempt to bring the COVID-19 outbreak under control. Prime Minister Mia Mottley announced the measure on Tuesday, as she also confirmed that the country had recorded 3 cases of the UK variant of the virus. In an address to the nation, Mottley said 3 out of the 9 samples sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency (CARPA) for testing had confirmed the presence of the UK strain. Mottley announced that from midnight February 3 to February 17, there will be a period of national pause and a 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew will take effect. Only supermarkets, pharmacies and gas stations will be open, and only essential activities in the public and private sector will continue. The wearing of masks in all public places will also be mandatory. Mottley said all persons coming into Barbados must have a negative PCR test that was done 72 hours before traveling. And now in Jamaica, health facilities have been partnering with hotels to offer PCR tests for as much as $300 following requests from some of Jamaica's main international travel partners for a negative COVID-19 test from travelers. A negative PCR test result is required by the United Kingdom and Canada to facilitate travel, while the US, effective on Wednesday, mandates proof of a negative PCR or antigen test. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton expressed concern on Monday about not only the mushrooming of pop-up labs offering these tests, but the high costs individuals are being asked to pay. We now turn to Colombia. Colombia's defense minister has died in hospital after contracting coronavirus, the government has announced. Carlos Holmes Trujillo, 69, was taken to the hospital with COVID-19 earlier this month and had developed viral pneumonia. I quote, "Colombia has lost one of its best men," end of quote, President Iván Duque said on Tuesday. Colombia has reported more than 2 million coronavirus cases and nearly 52,000 people have died. And finally, in neighboring Suriname, President Tandrika Persad Santokhi has tested positive for COVID-19, while several members of his cabinet who were in contact with him in recent days are being tested for the highly contagious virus, the government confirmed. In an address to the nation on Sunday, Santokhi said he was feeling strong and had no symptoms of the virus, but would remain at home on the advice of health authorities. He is in isolation at his private residence, from where he said he will be continuing working for the next few days. There have been 7,246 confirmed COVID-19 cases recorded in Suriname. That was all for tonight's original news. Thank you for joining.